Guys, Mayflom here, and I'm stamping with some permanent black ink here. Some ink that will absolutely not have any fading problems or have any kind of issues when I add watercolor. So this is watercolor paper. So what the heck am I even doing here? Well, let me tell you. What I'm doing here is two different things. Over here on this side of the paper, I'm preparing a background that I will actually watercolor and then cut out. And yes, I'm doing the whole length of this paper because I want to make a couple of teacher gifts. Now, usually teacher gifts, you know, like the end of the school year or Christmas, but I'm thinking we're going to do teacher conferences soon, and I want to do some little gift card fun little things for a couple of my daughter's favorite teachers. So what I'm doing down here is stamping birds. I've got two different concepts here that how the ScanNCut's going to help me make this happen. And I've got one fun project sketch, although the heart that you see there, I have changed out to a bird. And I'm going to use a lot of stamping, but also use that ScanNCut. So first things first, I get all my stamping done. I like to work in batches when we talk about the ScanNCut because when I work in a batch, I can get a bunch of different things done. And for example, I made a couple different fall projects, and now I've got all these extras, which is great because when I go to make a card, when I go to make a scrapbook layout, and I just need one or two things, they're there. So my first tip to you, if you're doing a stamp and it has open areas, the ScanNCut is going to see those open areas and it's going to say, okay, you want me to cut, like for example here, it would go inside the bird. We don't want that, so all you do is close up the lines. That's all you have to do. And you don't even have to do, I'm doing a lot because I just want to be really, really sure that this does not in any way have any gaps. But anywhere you see a gap, I just go with, and again, this is a pen that will not react with water mediums because I want to watercolor these guys. So I'm just going to make sure that all the lines are nice and sealed. And I'm just going to go around the birds, and look how, because this is a sketchy looking, you know, it's kind of a sketch design stamp, it's not going to be an issue at all. When we actually cut it out, you're not going to necessarily see which ones were mine versus which lines were already there, which lines. And this is also great if for some reason you stamp and you have a real weak area, go ahead and just add your own pen work and you'll be fine. So once we have all of this done and we're ready, we're cutting two different things. So we're doing two different things here. We're scanning these birds, and with this for my background, I'm actually going to be coloring and creating a different element to this card. So I'm cutting it out, and we'll do one at a time. All right, so I've got my birdies loaded onto the mat, and I'm going into scan. I'm going to scan direct cut, and I'm going to do color mode, and just go ahead and press start. And then I'm going to frame out my image here, like so, and say okay. And it'll just take a moment as it recognizes all the shapes. And if we've done everything right, it's gonna say, yay, you know, you're ready to cut. If we hadn't, if there was a gap, then we would see what went on, we'd see the problem, and we would either adjust the colors, which you'll watch this and see it get better or worse, or sometimes, honestly, you just need to rescan it. You need to just run it back through and see one more time. It doesn't want to get rid of, I'm hoping to get rid of this little spot up here because that's not actually anything I want to cut. Oh, there it goes. So ignoring object size is going to help you get rid of teeny tiny cuts that you don't want. If you're happy with it, you say okay. If you want to add any outline distance, you can, or you can have it cut right along the stamped edge and just say, okay, I'd like to cut this, please. And sometimes it takes a moment, but there we go. With that cut, next up, I've got that paper that I have that's got the flowers all over it. And what we're going to do for this one is we're going to go into pattern, going to go into basics, and I'm going to pick out, let's see. I'm going to pick out something that has, I really just want a line along one side. So I was gonna do something maybe with scallop on the top, but it looks like, there we go. I knew way in here was somewhere that had scallop along the top. So there we go. So what I'm going to do is push this button, which will let me get the width that I want, which is, let's see. Oh no, the width that I want is actually going to be much smaller. I want it to be 2.6 is fine. And then the height, I'm going to want it to be about 4.25. So let's make the width 2.5. Well, let's make it 2.75, I know. So what I'm going to do is do this and say okay. Then I'm going to push this button, which will scan my mat where my flowers are. And then I can see where this will fit best. And then what I'm going to do is press this button here. I'm hoping to get 3 of them, but it looks like, well, it looks like if I cut them in that direction there, I can only get 2. So let me flip. I'm going to push this and flip and see. I think it's good enough if I flip them. So you can see how I just click on it and push 90 degrees. And I'm going to say okay. And then what I can do, and you can zoom in if you really want to see up close, you can zoom in and I can see where I'm putting these. And if I'm happy with the placement, if I like the stamping, I'm going to say okay. Once I've got all these where I want them, I'm going to click OK and go ahead and cut them out. Now that everything's cut out, it gets really fun. Use whatever color mediums you would like and color however you would like. Me, I'm going to go with watercolor. So these are some pens that are kind of watercolor pens or water reactive. And I'm going to throw some quick color down. As you can see, I'm not sitting here overthinking this. I'm just throwing down some green. And I'll add some water in there in a minute. And then I'm going to throw in some purple, like so. Okay, and then take a water brush and one color at a time. I'm going to work purples, and don't worry if it doesn't look fantastic right away. This is kind of I call it my quick scribble method, where we're not going for perfect at all. We're just going, and we're going to get all of this done. It's layer 1, and then if we're happy with it, great. If we're not, we add more color. So there's no pressure because you can keep on blending, adding color, etc., etc. Then we're going to go in for the greens, same thing. Just that little bit of water, blend it a little. Don't think about it too much. Don't move slowly. Why? Don't move slowly and don't think about it too much, because I want kind of a free, messy look. I want this to have kind of a fun, free-spirited feel to it. So I don't want it to look over-processed. I don't want it to look like I sat here and really like studied and obsessed over things. And then I'll go in, some of them I'll add a little pink here. Some of them, like so. It doesn't have to be all of them. We could just do a few. And then we let it dry, because once it's dry, it's going to look a little different. So we'll set that aside to let it dry. And then, you know what? We're going to do a purple bird. I've never done a purple bird, but we're going to do a blue and purple bird. So I'm going to give this bird a little bit of dark blue. And there's a little pink here, and we'll just blend. I'm using watercolor markers, quite honestly, because they're quick and easy and no mess. I don't have to clean anything up. I don't have to dry anything out. They're just gonna give me quick, easy color. You can use any watercolor medium whatsoever though, or any medium at all for that matter. If you don't want a watercolor look, you don't need to go that direction for this project. You can go any direction that you would like. Now I'm just getting the whole bird some all over color. And then I'll just come back in and shade a little with the darker. I like my purple bird. I think he's fun. And because it's wet, you see all those little streaks and blendy spots. That's because it's wet right now. If I like it, I leave it. If I don't, I just come back and fix it up a little more. So I'm going to kind of do like match up a bird in a scene. So This one I think is going to have yellow and orange flowers. So I'm just going to, guys, I'm just going to keep repeating this. I'm just going to put a little color up. And this one I started to do, you could do it this way. You could do one at a time if you wanted, or you can do batch. It's up to you. I've got some cardstock here, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. If you'll remember, I made it 4 1/4 inches wide. So I've got 2 different designs going here. The one is landscape, the other's portrait mode, you know, the one's tall, the one's short. So I just to show you here, this is a pocket, so I can tuck the gift card in here, and then I can put a personal note in here. I absolutely love how these turned out. Let me just show you, just couldn't be more easy. So this is folded card. You could do it flat. My initial sketch, I was thinking of a tag, so I was initially kind of envisioning doing this and then putting a hole here and some strings and making it a gift tag. This absolutely could be converted into a gift tag. That's something I love about these techniques. We can always find different ways to put them into use and different ways to make them work for us in whatever kind of craft project we want. So you want some double-sided tape on the edges and what I will call the bottom or the non-scalloped side. And then you just tape runner, dry adhesive, whatever you want. I wouldn't advise liquid adhesive just because it tends to make a mess. And then you just center it up and press on. And then the same with the bird. Let's see, I want this one to be like so. So I'm just gonna put some across the bottom of my bird. I'm gonna double it up just to be extra strong. None on the top of the bird because this is going to be a pocket, so I don't want this bird to, I don't want this part to be sticky. There we go. It's ready. If I want to have a sentiment, again, just have some nice permanent black ink. I can stamp something here, there, anywhere. I love how these turned out. This was so much fun, and it's so colorful and so great, and I think the teachers are really going to enjoy them, so I can't wait to hand them out at Parent-to-Teacher Conference Day. They're probably not used to getting presents on that day. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll see you next time.